What's up, Cincinnati? This is Stanley, Soul Train Jefferson. For the second episode of Set the Record Straight with Soul Train, we got our very first guest from the Greater Cincinnati Alzheimer's Association. We got a walk that's coming up here in Cincinnati here on October 1st. We are here today with... We're here with... Hold on 1 second. Here we go. Heather Willis. She's the walk director for the Cincinnati walk that's going to happen on October 1st. And later we're going to also talk with Toni Morgan of the Butler County and Warren County Alzheimer's Association that already had a walk last weekend. So first of all, thank you ladies for coming here today, to talk about the Alzheimer's walk and about Alzheimer's in general, because I feel like everybody needs to know. Everybody needs to know what's going on with that. So thank you all for coming.
Thank you for having us.
So Heather, I'm gonna start. Well, actually, Toni, I'm gonna start with you because we just had a walk over in Warren County just last week. So my question for you is, Toni, tell me about the walk that happened, last weekend. Tell me all about that.
Okay. We just recently, last Saturday on the 17th, had a walk at the square at Union Center. It was the Butler and Warren Counties Walk to End Alzheimer's, and that brings together lots of teams, corporations, sponsors who are looking to get behind our mission, which is to find a cure. And our goal in the Butler and Warren County area is 236,000, and we are a little over half. So I came today to help support Heather in her walk at Cincinnati, but also to remind folks, even though the walk at Butler and Warren County is already over with, you can still fundraise until the end of the year. You can contact me. I'm Toni Morgan, the development manager, and I would be happy to help you gain fundraising ideas and also talk to any businesses that would like to give some philanthropic funds towards the end of the year to our walk.
Why is it so important that you all have a walk like that, every year? Because you all been doing it for years. I've been covering Alzheimer's walks for many, many years.
The main reason why we do our walks is we funnel a lot of the money from the walk right into research. And that is, we are the largest nonprofit in the United States and across the globe that is funding research for a cure, not only for Alzheimer's disease, but all other dementia. So that is one of the main reasons why we have our walks, is to come up with drugs. We just have one that was recently approved by the FDA not too long ago for early stage Alzheimer's. We have a couple other that are in the pipeline right now that are going to be going through FDA. But we want to find a cure. That's what our organization is all about, is finding a cure and also providing care and support to caregivers who are caring for people who are living with Alzheimer's disease and other dementia. And we do the walks so we can fund things like our 1-800 line that people can call into, which is open 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Even on holidays, you can call and ask questions of our clinical people who work the lines at the Alzheimer's Association.
Wow, that's a good cause right there, because there's people I know that does have Alzheimer's, and the memory just gets out of your mind and everything. It's a good thing that we walk for them because we want their voices to be heard. We want them to know that people do care. So Heather.
Yes.
Hold on a second. Excuse me, ladies. This is like my first ever guest. You all my first ever guest, and I had to do all the gadgets. But Heather.
Yes.
This is, you all gonna do a walk here in Cincinnati at Sawyer Point on October the 1st.
Correct.
And I didn't cover this last year, but I would love to know more about what's it like doing the Alzheimer's walk here in Cincinnati.
Great. So our walk does take place on October 1st at Sawyer Point at 9 a.m. Before the walk begins, we have activities. We have Star Wars characters, Elvis will be there, Mo the elephant, which is our mascot. We have a brain play area, and then we'll have our flower garden available along with the ceremonies as well. So it's going to be a great event, and we would love for you to come down, sign up your team, and support the Alzheimer's Association.
And I see you all sent some pictures with me today. There's one quote that really comes to mind that I saw here as we were setting up this morning. This quote right here, it says, "Raising your voice brings awareness, and if you keep quiet, nobody will know."
Right.
What does that really mean to you? What strikes your mind when you see that statement?
To me, we need people to help us fund and support a cure in the future. And if you stay quiet and if you don't share that information that you have, we have 6.5 million people living with Alzheimer's. That number is expected to grow. So get the word out, start a team. There's a lot of things that you can do on social media. Follow our Facebook page, follow our Instagram page, share the information we post on there. Just get the word out.
And I see we got some more pictures here, including our very own Allison Montoya, because I do work at Fox 19. I work with her a lot on weekends. I mean, she's very good at what she does, and I feel like I am very eternally grateful to be a part of something like this. I mean, what does that really mean to see a lot of people come out to events like this for the Alzheimer's Association?
I mean, it means a lot to us to have people support our cause, and it's great seeing all the different colored flowers and what they represent. So we really enjoy that piece of it. It's very moving and humbling as well.
Speaking of which, you kind of told me over the, when we was texting, earlier, about the flowers and everything. Mm-hmm. I'll go back to that one picture again that has that.
Yeah.
Tell me, what do the different colors of the flowers represent?
Sure. So the purple flower is for people that have lost somebody from Alzheimer's. The yellow flower is for caregivers. So if you're a caregiver, you'll have the yellow flower. The orange flower is for people that support the cause. And the blue flower is for people living with Alzheimer's. We do have a white flower as well that we present on stage at the walks, and the white flower represents the first survivor.
Wow. I mean, that means a lot, because I might want to do an Alzheimer's walk, for someone I know, Mm-hmm. So what does it mean to see, family members and, people of groups, come out and support their loved ones or support that friend or that coworker, because I've seen a lot of people at the event that Toni took over on Saturday. I mean, it meant a lot, Toni. I mean, what does it mean to see something like that from what you saw?
What we like to say is our walks at times are part of being like the largest support group you could ever belong to, because everyone that is there has some kind of connection to the disease or has a friend or a loved one who they're raising money for. So we're all on this journey together, and we're all supportive of one another because we're walking the same journey, as I just said earlier. So it is like a huge support group to be at our walk and to be among other people who understand what you and your family are going through or have been through. And again, everybody is there because they are dedicated to our mission, which is finding a cure to the disease.
And, when people go to this walk, and especially your walk that you have coming up on October 1st, Heather, this is a question for both of you all. You all can answer, one at a time. But for those that don't, that comes to these walks, what do you want them to know?
I'd like them to know that it's a place to support one another, to realize that if you're going through this, if you're a caregiver, if you're somebody that's currently fighting the disease, that there's support for you. And that's what those walks look like. There's support for one another, for a cause. And even when you see the orange supporter flowers, you know that maybe they are not dealing with something like that in their own lives, but they're there to support you and what you're going through. So it's a great walk, and I am looking forward to seeing everyone down there.
Yeah, I would probably just tag on to that one of the things I always say to people when they first attend the walk is go to our program and servicings tent, because underneath that we have everything that the Alzheimer's Association offers. And I don't think people are really aware of the fact that all of our resources are 100% free. So you want to tap into our free support groups that we have in your local communities. You want to know about our risk reduction programs, like the 10 ways to keep your brain healthy and 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's. If you know a neighbor and you're wondering whether they are living with Alzheimer's, 10 warning signs, and also understanding Alzheimer's and an awareness piece of the educational program. So go there first. If you're into politics and you want to fight at a national level, we have advocates that you can become an advocate. You can volunteer for our organization. It's just that programming and services tent is a good place to start to get engaged with our organization on so many of the different pillars and the things that we do and we put out into the local communities.
I mean, that's a lot of resources that you all have, because you can make your voice be heard for them, at walking events that you all have, and especially at, to the White House, to the Capitol Hill, because this is something that, they deserve the same kind of lifestyle that we have, I mean, there's people I know that does have that, and they need to have their voices heard, because they might not remember you. They might not remember your name or what happened, 30 years ago or something, Mm-hmm. They need guidance out there. They need that support, that we're here to say that, we're here for you. We are here for you, no matter if you can't, no matter how old you are. If you have any kind of dementia or Alzheimer's, we're here for you to help, and we're walking for you. And I really appreciate what you all do.
Thanks.
So this number right here that you all have, that I'm about to put on the screen now, is this the number that people can call for someone they know of that or themselves that have Alzheimer's or dementia or something like that?
If they're looking for resources, support groups, that would be the number to call to get assistance.
It's a great number too as well, Soul Train, to call if there's anything that happens anytime in the middle of the night and you're a caregiver. You need to have this phone on your refrigerator and in your phone. It might be something like, they're agitated and I can't get them to settle down and fall asleep. You can call our 1-800 line at 3 a.m. in the morning, and a clinical psychologist will get on the phone line and walk you through what to do with that issue. So we're there for caregivers on this line with any question they may have, anything that pops up with them not knowing how to deal with a particular situation. They can call our line and someone will be there to help.
Yeah, and you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. That's 1-800-272-3900. And also, too, ladies, getting back to me, I understand there's a website that you all have for those that's interested in volunteering for the walk or any other event that you all have. What is that?
They can go to act.alz.org/CTS.
All right, you heard it here first. act.alz.org/CTS. And what will they find on that website?
On that website, you'll find information about volunteering. There's information about the event. You can sign up for the walk if you'd like to. You'll see all of our teams, our champions. So it's a wealth of information.
All right, and a question for both of you. Back to me. Question for both of you. What do you want people to know when they go to this walk? And when I know I kind of asked this already, but what I want to know is like when they holding that flower up, when they're walking, what type of message do you want them to receive? You want to them to know to receive, for their loved one or for that coworker that they're walking for. What type of message would you send to those walkers or volunteers?
That they support them, and that they're looking for a cure as well in the future.
I would second that as well, or echo that. Our walks are for everyone to understand that you're not alone. You're not alone in what you're going through right now. And it is very supportive to go to the walks and see all the people who are there that are, again, as I mentioned earlier, walking the same journey that you may be walking, and also care about our mission and just have a passion for wanting to find a cure to the disease. We know it's out there, and the Alzheimer's Association is not going to stop fighting until we find it. And I just wanted to mention quickly, Soul Train, that African Americans are 2 times more likely to develop some type of dementia in their lifetime as they age, and the Hispanic population is 1.5, and women are 2 times more likely. So these are the groups of individuals that we want to start connecting to, and we want them to ask more questions and engage with us so we can give them the local resources of where they need to go and what they need to do should they suspect any kind of even mild cognitive impairment. If they're suspecting that, then you can contact us and we can tell you some locations that you can go to go through testing, true testing, to determine whether you actually have a form of dementia or you just have mild cognitive impairment.
That's a very good point right there, because as we was talking about it when we was off camera, you said, I asked you, like, is it hereditary for family members that knows a family member that have dementia or Alzheimer's for them to get it too? I mean, that's a major thing. Is it something major that, I should worry about if I knew a family member that had dementia or Alzheimer's?
If you have family members that have actually gotten a true clinical diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease or another type of dementia, your risk does go up. But we are putting out preventative programs that people will want to get involved in, because if you have a family member, you need to start today and making sure that your blood pressure stays at a certain level. You get 30 minutes of exercise a day, you eat healthy, and we suggest the Mediterranean diet or the DASH diet, which is a low salt diet. And you just want to make sure that you're living a proper lifestyle before you start aging. Age 65 and up is the risk category for Alzheimer's disease. So if you're a young person now and you know that you have a family history of Alzheimer's disease, you need to start today and making sure that you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah, I might want to do that too. I'm only 37, so I mean, I got a long time for that, but it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt for me to start early. I mean, it's something that we all have to be aware of. And you mentioned that African Americans and women, and they're very likely to get it. They're like very highly likely to get it. Why do you think it's so important for you all to like reach out to those groups, especially with the walk that you have coming up?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, African Americans are 2 times more likely, Hispanics are 1.5, and women are also at a higher risk. And the reason why it's important that we connect to these folks is because with those kind of statistics, this is something you need to be talking about to your doctor when you go in and you have a regular physical exam every year. And sometimes the doctors will want to check your blood pressure and your sugar and everything else, but they need to be asking you, would you like to have a memory test? And there's a stigma to Alzheimer's disease, and there's a stigma to people don't want to say, I think I may be losing a little bit of my memory. They don't normally come out and tell someone that. So you have to advocate for yourself when you go in with your doctor and actually ask for a memory test in addition to every other test that you're going to go through during your physical. And if your physician isn't asking you, you need to ask for it. Because we've found that there is a little bit of a gap where a doctor may not necessarily ask a patient whether they want to have a family, if they want to talk about, issues with memory loss. And we have found that the person sitting in the chair will be like, well, the doctor didn't ask me, then I must be okay. But we're just saying that if you're over the age of 65, please ask for a memory test every time that you go in and have a physical, every year.
Yeah, that's very important. Is it also like, okay for like with me being 37 for me to go and get a memory test? It's never hurt to, to do it early, don't you think?
I would say at your age, you don't necessarily need to ask for a memory test right now unless you have been someone that has suffered a concussion in your lifetime, or just make your doctor aware if you have a family history of Alzheimer's disease or any other dementia. Even at the age of 37, you might still be not needed to have a memory test, but I would definitely make sure that it's noted in your chart that you have a family history, because this doctor or your family physician will be tracking you as you're aging, and that's what you need to have, is that connection with your family physician who knows your family history. So
I understand too that you mentioned that you all have some goals you all wanting to meet. You said your goal is what again, Toni?
The goal for the Butler and Warren County Walk is $236,000, and right now we're at 52% of that. So we've raised about $123,000. We have a ways to go, which is why we're hoping everyone will continue to fundraise from now till the end of the year. And there's so many ways you can do that. You can connect to me at tomorgan.alz.org. We have tons of ideas of fundraising events to do, everything from, I just recently had someone who did a bake sale, and we all say bake sales, but she raised over $500 in her bake sale. So simple things like that make a difference, and they can go towards your team, and they can go towards us being able to funnel more money towards, research.
Oh man, I gotta show this shirt out. I gotta show this out. Hold on one second. Now, if you go to the walk, like I know I'm gonna be there, you'll get one of these. Fighting for the first survivor. You'll get one of these fine t-shirts, and you see Heather and them, they seeing some t-shirts too. You got Heather right here wearing one, and you got Toni wearing one. It says N-A-L-Z. N-A-L-Z.
Once you hit your goal of $100, you will get a t-shirt. You have to raise $100 to get the shirt.
Oh,
Yes.
$100.
Yes.
Wow. So
That's right.
just remember, y'all, if you raise that money, you get this purple shirt. It's all about showing support in Alzheimer's. So what does end Alzheimer's really mean to you, Heather?
To me, it's just finding the first survivor. And like I said, there's 6.5 million people living with Alzheimer's, and that rate is expected to grow. And I'd like to see, as I age, that number decline. So,
Definitely.
yeah.
All right, Toni?
Same thing. I would echo what she says as well. We both work for the association, so we're passionate about finding a cure. And we truly do believe that the Alzheimer's Association is going to be one of the major players in being able to find the cure, because all of the money we raise at the walk gets funneled into not only research in the United States, but global research. We bring together the brightest minds, and our nonprofit is going to be a huge part of helping to find the cure.
I appreciate, ladies, I really do appreciate that. And once again, if you want to go to the walk here in Cincinnati, Wake Up Cincinnati, they need your help, because Heather, what's y'all's goal again?
1 million.
1 million. They trying to raise $1 million to, support those with Alzheimer's. So they need you to go to Sawyer Point at 1 o'clock on Saturday, October 1st at
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Right.
Be there. You already know my station's going to be there, but please be there on October 1st in the morning, at Sawyer Point. They could use your support and everything. Walk for calls. If you don't know nobody that has Alzheimer's or anything, come anyway, walk anyway, because you're also making a difference. You just never know. You might be supporting somebody that, you never met before, or a kid or an adult. Doesn't matter the age. Anybody can have Alzheimer's at any age, correct?
The risk category starts at age 65 and up, but there is early onset dementia. So there are folks that are in their 40s, their 50s, and some in their late 30s that have been diagnosed with early onset. Okay. Unfortunately, yeah.
Right. I mean, it just goes to show, once again, you just never know. That's why you say, it's better to start early. Just eat right, make sure you're taking care of your body, eat, get plenty of sleep, rest, and, exercise is most important. I get walks every day.
No smoking, reading.
Oh, yeah, no smoking. No, no. Yeah. Don't do that. Yeah. But for real, I really do thank you all for coming on here today. It really means a lot that, we do something like this in our communities, because if it wasn't for you all to support Alzheimer's, if it wasn't for Alzheimer's Association as a whole, there wouldn't be no support for those with Alzheimer's, because it might be me someday. It might be y'all someday. It might be you that's watching my show someday. You just never know. So again, just come out. If you was unable to go to the one in Westchester on last Saturday, come on October 1st at Sawyer Point in the morning at
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
October 1st. Yep.
October 1st, 9 a.m. Be there. Be squared. I'm telling you, it's going to be a dandy. And also there's going to be some snacks, from Kroger, I understand.
Yeah, actually, Costco, Myers, Target, Kroger, all of those have given us in-kind donations, so we thank them very much for providing all of the walkers with some sustenance. But yeah, it's a family-friendly event. We have lots of things going on. We'll provide you with the water if it's a hot day and snacks, so please come out and join us and just be a part of this. I mean, just come out and help us raise awareness, and I think you'll find that you will enjoy the walk and you'll be back the year after that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. Well, folks, this all wraps up the Set the Record Straight with Soul Train, because I'm going to tell you right now, these two ladies right here, they really set the record straight with me today. I want to thank you all for coming on here and telling me about this Alzheimer's walk, and tell everybody, around Cincinnati and the tri-state about this Alzheimer's walk that's coming up, because I feel like it's very important that, we spread awareness about this and spread the word about what Alzheimer's is and what, it really means. And I don't know if I asked y'all this question or not before I let you go. For those that don't know, how about you all explain to me and everyone else what Alzheimer's is?
Alzheimer's is actually a disease, okay? And it is a disease of the brain. And it actually will keep, I guess in layman's terms, I want to say it'll just keep eating away at your brain and your memory. And your processing of your language will start to slow down. Unfortunately, you may not remember loved ones. Some people will, some people won't. Alzheimer's, it affects every single individually differently, because we all have different body chemistries, right? So it's not a blanket statement that this person will do this and this and this if they have Alzheimer's. Everyone is different due to their body chemistry. But it is a disease. It is an incurable disease. So that's the main thing to understand, is that early diagnosis, as with any disease, and especially with Alzheimer's, is key. And right now, there has been no one who has survived with Alzheimer's disease. And that's why we are fighting to find that survivor, because ultimately it goes through 3 stages. It goes through the first stage, a middle stage, and a late stage. And where you get diagnosed in that stage is extremely important. So again, if you're thinking that you're having some memory issues, you can't remember how to drive yourself home, you constantly processing of your language and your thoughts are falling, you need to go get a diagnosis from a neurologist. We usually say a neurologist is a good place to start.
It always is. And Heather, what are some symptoms? What are some things that people need to look out for when it comes to Alzheimer's?
Like Toni said, you'll have some issues remembering how to get home or remembering names of your family members, and just general words won't come to mind as easily. So yeah, basically what she said. And
all right. Well, ladies, thank you all so much for coming on this show. I know I keep saying it, but I keep coming up with questions on my own. But this is my first ever guest, second show. But for those of you that's interested in coming on my show, showcasing your talents, whether it's music or organizations, just like the Alzheimer's Association of Greater Cincinnati here, or anything else that's positive, because I'm telling you, my show is all about good vibes and good times. Yep. That's my mission statement right there. Good vibes and good times.
Love it.
And for those that, that if you're interested in being on my show, feel free to email me at this email address right here. It's strsoultrain@yahoo.com. That's ST as in set the record straight. That's what it stands for, STRS, set the record straight, soultrain@yahoo.com. So, ladies, I thank you again. This has been a pleasure. I thank you all so much. For those of you that's watching, thank you so much for watching me. I mean, the show is, going to be so much going forward. I mean, this is a lifelong journey. Keep watching. I'll see y'all next time.